What you guys, today we're taking a look at backup software for Windows 10 and Windows 11, and yes, it's called Macrium Reflect X, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. So we do know that Macrium Reflect used to have a free version that you could use, and they stopped supporting that version some time ago. But now they're offering a subscription-based backup solution, and that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. So do you need to pay for backup software? Well, that's entirely up to you. A lot of people do, and Macrium Reflect is still one of the best backup softwares on the market. So it's a lot faster to back up according to Macrium. They are saying that now it's a lot faster to back up your drive and data. And you can see it's £36.99 per year per computer. You do get home exclusive support, and you also get that for as little as £3.08 per month. So if you value your backups, then something like this would be essential for your backup solution. So I've downloaded the software, created an account, and we're going to go ahead and install Macrium Reflect X on this computer. You've got a few different languages, as you can see right here. I'm going to click next here, and from there we're going to click next one more time here. And once we've done that, it's going to allow us to accept the end user license agreement. So I'm going to go ahead and agree to those and click next. And this is where we can get a 30-day trial. So you can try this for 30 days. And if you like it, you can go ahead and purchase a key, and the software will be yours for a year. So I've gone ahead and pasted a key in, and now we've got some options. So install CBT, which is change block tracking for high performance backups. We also have install Image Guardian, which is a ransomware protection for Macrium backups. So we also have install vboot, and vboot is install VM booting of Macrium backups, and we also have install desktop shortcut. I'm going to leave these as default here and go ahead and click next, and now we can go ahead and click install. This is going to go ahead and install the software on the computer. We're rocking Windows 11 right here, but it does work on Windows 10 and Windows 11. So let's go ahead and click finish. And it's probably going to ask us to restart, and there we go. So what I'm going to do here is going to quickly restart here. So after a quick restart, we do have access to the program, and you can see it's Macrium Reflect X Home Edition. Now, for many years, Macrium Reflect has been free, or some versions of it have been free, but now they're using this Macrium Reflect X Edition, which is obviously a subscription-based software, which means you're going to have to pay for it every single year to use it. So up the top, we do have File, and we have View, which is Toolbar and Refresh, Backup as Image Select Disks, Backup Windows, Backup Files, Backup Templates, and Disk Write Performance. On the Restore, we have Browse for Imaged or Backup Files to Restore, Explore Images and Detach Images. Other tasks, we have Create a Rescue Media, and a bunch of other options here like check in for updates, import and export settings, and we can also change our theme color if you wanted to. So if you don't like this white theme, there's plenty of other options here. If you want the dark theme or dark with some highlights here, you can go ahead and change it to whatever one you want to use. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to leave it on the white theme for this video because I think it'll be more easier to see. So I'm going to go back and do that right here. So there's some other options available in other tasks. So let's quickly take a look at those. And inside other tasks, we have this Macrium Image Guardian settings, which is going to allow you to protect your backups from ransomware. So if you get hit by ransomware and you accidentally download it and click on it, it will normally encrypt all of your data. Now, this is going to protect you, and I haven't tested this yet, but it would be interesting to see how good this Guardian is to protect your data. You can also select your volumes that you want to protect, and it will allow you to protect from ransomware, which is an added bonus for this particular software. Now, let's move on to other tasks here. And we do have some other options like fix VSS problems, and we also have view Windows VSS events. So those are the other options available to you in there. Now, there is a help tab here as well. Let's quickly take a look. You can release notes, configure update check, update your license key, remove license key, and manage support cases. And it gives you some information about Macrium Reflect X. So let's take a look at local disks. These are my two disks that I've got on the computer. They're two NVMe drives. We have definition files here, and we also have scripts and schedule backups and also task status. So let's go ahead and look at the clone option. So there is a clone option inside here, and we also have image options as well to back up to an image. But you can see here, clone option is this one right here. If you wanted to clone the drive and put it onto a new drive. So if you have another drive, you can clone your existing drive to this new destination, which will be your new drive. So if your existing drive is 512 gigabytes and your new drive is 1 terabyte, you can clone that 512 gigabytes to your 1 terabyte drive. There are some clone options here: perform an intelligent sector copy, verify file system, and rapid data clone. And we also have enable SSD trim if you're using an SSD, which you should be in 2025. You can even perform a forensic sector copy. But again, normally this option, what we have here, is normally the one that you would go for. We'll take a look at the email section on another one in a second, but that's just going to email you to let you know the backup has been done or the clone has been done. Next, up the top here, we have image selected disks on this computer. Create an image of partitions required to back up and restore Windows. This is what we would class as a partition backup or Windows backup. All of the partitions that are checkmarked there will be backed up, which is basically the Windows drive. So if you had programs on here, data on here, or any other stuff on here, it's going to back that up. But what I'd advise you to do if you want to make a nice Windows backup is install Windows on a fresh install, and then basically install all your drivers and the essential stuff that you need, and then make a Windows backup or partition backup of that drive. And make sure you keep that image updated so it has all the latest updates for that backup. Next up, what we're going to do here is going to select a destination folder. Now, this can be a network drive, this could be another drive that you have, an external drive, or this could be a separate drive inside your computer. And there was even an option for CDs and DVDs. Which I don't think anyone uses anymore. But basically, they're your options right there. And we can also back file up name, and you can give it a name if you wanted to. So let's go ahead and look at some of the options, advanced options here. The compression is how small it's going to compress that backup file. I would leave this as recommended here. I wouldn't go too high, and I'd leave that as medium recommended. And you can also see here, it says make an exact copy of all the partitions right here. Or you can do an intelligent sector copy, which is also recommended. I'd leave that as default right there. Next, let's move on to the other options that we have available, which is your file size. Again, you can automatic NTFS, FAT32, DVD or CD. I'm going to leave that as is. You can even password protect it if you want to. So if you're on a communal computer that you use in say a home, then obviously you might want to password protect your data to stop people looking inside. And you can use a 256-bit encryption on here if you wanted to. So I'm just going to remove that check mark. Now remember, if you do password protect it, make sure you remember it, otherwise you won't be able to gain access to it. Next, auto verify image, and this was basically going to select and automatically verify the integrity of your image or backup for directly after it is created. So that's what I would definitely do. That is a must do to make sure the image has gone across properly. Verify file system. If you're backing up your Windows drive, this will verify the integrity of the file system being backed up. And this is also important to make sure you don't back up a corrupt Windows install. Next, we've got the prefix file name, and we also have the comment section where you can comment and shut down the computer afterwards for power saving and that sort of stuff. Next, we have the email section here. This is to email the success of the backup. It will notify you if you're away from the computer. It will let you know when that has been completed. It will also email you if there was any warnings or any failures during the backup process. Again, you can do this if you wanted to. Most people don't, but if you did, the option is available there. I'm not going to be doing a partition or drive backup in this case. I'm going to be doing a folder backup, which is this option here for quickness. But if you want to see any more on this software, then let me know in the comments section, or you can let us know on our newly created Discord server. So let's go ahead and take a look at the file and folder backup options here. Again, this is pretty self-explanatory. All you need to do is check mark the folders that you want to back up. For instance, if you want to back up your pictures, you would just check mark this one, music or videos, you would just check mark them and then proceed with the backup process. So depending on what you want to back up, this is backing up files or folders method. Now, of course, there's a option for C drive and storage, and you can choose network as well. There's options available to you here. I'm only going to be backing up a small portion, say about 50 gigs, just to show you how basically this works. So let me go ahead and select the stuff that I want to back up here just to show you. So we're going to do documents, and I'll also do videos here. So let's go on to the next section, and we'll click OK here. And this has now moved us on to the next section, which is where we're going to be choosing our destination where we want to back this up to. So you can see at the moment we've got our backup source, which is the documents and videos. That's what we are looking at backing up. And it tells you the size of the backup that you're doing right here. And it will also give us the option to add more folders if we want to do by clicking on this if we forgot to back up something at a later date. So we can go ahead and back that up right here if we wanted to. I'm going to leave this as is. You can edit the source folder filters right here. So this is our inclusion and exclusion mask. And you can see include subfolders. And this is where we can include these and exclude these as well right here. And it will say add files to include, and it will be things like XDS or documents or MP3s. And you can also add exclusions as well. So exclude files or folders. It might be a large folder that you have with really big, large files that you don't want to back up, and you can exclude that right there if it's in the same directory which you're trying to back up from. So you can exclude that subfolder. So here we have also the same options that we had before, which is compression, file size, password, and all that sort of stuff. So once we've done all of this, we can then choose our destination where we want to back up to. Now, this could be obviously a backup to a network drive, or backup to an external drive, or another internal drive that you have on your computer, or something like that. Just going to give it a name so we can back up file name here. And again, I would advise you to put the date on there just to make it easier and more recognizable to when you made that backup. Now we need to choose the folder where we want to back it up to, or alternative locations, but we're going to be backing up to another drive that's internal on this computer. So let's go ahead and go to this PC, and I'll choose another drive here. So I've got that selected on the D drive backup. It's a different drive completely. And now what we need to do here is we're going to go ahead and click on the next option. Let's move on to the next option by clicking next. And this is probably going to be to set up our incremental or differential. And you can see here, edit the plan. Now, if you don't understand what these all means, you can see incremental versus differential, and you can go through, and Macrium Reflect have got an article there on their website, or you can search the web for differences between the two, and it will go into great detail about what the differences are. I'm not going to cover all this in this video because that's probably a separate video all on its own. But again, if you need to know about this sort of stuff, then you can read about it. Now, I'm not going to be setting up an incremental or differential backup here, but you can see there's a none option here to create your own schedules if you wanted to. And we also have grandfather, father, son, and it will explain all about what that means. And we have differential backup set, and we have an incremental backup set here, and intra-daily backup set as well. And it does get a bit wordy, but it does try to explain as much as it can in that little small window there of what this actually means. And it says incrementals forever right down there as well. So there are your options available from there. So you can see we haven't selected any yet because we haven't done a full or differential or incremental backup. And that's why you're getting that error there, because we haven't selected any. And I will uncheck mark these. So you can delete these schedules as well. So what I'm going to be doing is removing the check mark from these full, differential and incremental options here. So let's go ahead and move on to this option right here to just remove these, because I'm not going to be doing any of that stuff in this video. It's just going to be a one-time backup, and that's what I want for this video. If you want to see more in-depth videos like that, then let me know in the comment section or on my Discord server. There's a recommended section there for videos. So here we can see purge the oldest backup here. I'm not going to be doing that here. And now we can click on next and move on to the next option. So right here, as you can see, we have the same options available that we had before. And all we need to do now is click next. And all we need to do is click finish, because we have finished with our settings. And this will then give us the option to start the backup. Now, of course, if you've set all this up as a schedule, it will back up when you've set it to schedule. But here we're going to run the backup immediately, or you can have it running in the background if you wanted to by check marking that box right there. Very simple and easy to do. So it's going to be going into our my backup, and that's what we're going to be doing here. Click OK, and that will start the progress of our backup. And you can see it listed right down there. I will speed this up. It's only about 50 gigabytes, so it shouldn't take too long. And again, it's done. And you can see it took 1 minute and 45 seconds. And that's video footage, and it was about 50 to 60 gigs, something like that. So there you go. That's how we can back that option up. And we've just backed up files and folders. And now we can go back to our settings panel here. And this is it right here. This is on the log section, and it will tell you a log of exactly what happened. And you can see it's given us the result, the date, the type, the backup type, the definition, and the ID. And now we're at the main screen here. So what I want to do here is I want to quickly show you the backup that we had done. And this is it right here. Now, you might want to pull some files out of this, and you can do. All you need to do here is right-click on the backup image that you've just done, and this will give you some options here. And let me just quickly show you the size. So it was nearly 51 gigabytes in size. So we can also see here, when we right-click here on this file, it's going to give us the option to either restore this file and this data inside here, or we can explore our backup image. And that's what we're going to do first. We'll quickly explore our backup, and there we go. It says select your backup to explore, and we only have one, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right here. We can enable access to restricted folders as well. Click OK, and it will mount that image on your computer. You can see it's now give us the folder here of the image that we've just backed up, and now we can explore it. And there's our documents and videos, and we can go in here and pull out whatever we want to our desktop at a later date if we wanted to. And it's that simple. You don't have to restore it all to pull data out. You can just copy the data out because it is mounted on your computer. And again, we can restore this whole section if we wanted to. Now, once you've finished exploring it, you can also see the image has been mounted, and you would just right click on this, and we will need to then unmount this image. So right click, and you can see here Macrium Reflect. There is an option in the menu, and all we need to do is highlight this and unmount the Macrium image, and this will disappear off the screen like so. Very simple. And that's it. We've now had a look inside, and what I would advise you to do next is inside the Macrium Reflect X software, there will be a rescue area where you can then go and click on this and create some rescue media. What is that rescue media going to do? Well, you've got a couple of options. You've got the Windows boot menu option, which will put it into the Windows boot menu as a Windows PE version, or you can create an ISO of it and, you know, create, say, Ventoy or something like that, or even create your own bootable media from there if you wanted to. And then if the PC is not booting properly, you can then boot up to your machine and back up your data, or even rescue data from there as well by using this bootable rescue media. If you want to see a video on that, let me know in the comments section or on the Discord server in the request a video section. Anyway, I think that is pretty much it. So that is the rescue media. I'm not going to be covering that in this video, but that's pretty much it for Macrium Reflect X. It's a pretty decent bit of kit. It's not free, I understand that, but again, it just depends on how important your data is to you. And the problem is a lot of people just don't back up enough. And again, once you get hit with, say, ransomware, it's going to encrypt all your data, and that is it. You're going to lose that data for good unless you have a recovery key, which is very unlikely. And this is where this software comes in, because you do have that ransomware guard on there. Anyway, with that said, my name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Quick shout out to all my YouTube members, so do appreciate the support. I shall see you on the Discord server for a chat. If you haven't joined yet, the link is in the video description. Bye for now.